Good evening, everybody. This is the May 6th, 2015 meeting of the Planning Board of the Town of Smithtown. We're going to begin it with the Pledge of Allegiance, and you're all invited to join in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. The first item on the agenda this evening, the Planning Department recommends the following items for adjournment as we have insufficient information to act upon them. Under Part 1, Item 1, 2012-04 Storybook Homes. Item 2, 2012-02 Carlson Associates. Item 3, 2009-05 FB4 Realty. Item 5, 773 Scholar Estates. Item 6, 1135 Tahami Plat. Item, oh, sorry about the order there. That should be item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 288 Olivia Estates, and then number 1039 Garden Gate at St. James, followed by 2010-06 KVC Holdings, and 911A Glen Hill Northern. These are the items that the Planning Department is recommending for adjournment this evening.
Is there anybody present who wishes to be heard in any of the items regarding which the Planning Department is requesting an adjournment as just read? Seeing none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, motion to adjourn the items as recommended by the board, the department.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? So adjourned.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda is listed as item number 12, number 1031A Woodlawn Plat in St. James. The applicant requests to extend the performance bond approval for a period of 2 years to end on May 27, 2017, in order to obtain more time to complete construction and all necessary improvements. The applicant received conditional final approval for this two-lot subdivision from the Planning Board on May 7, 2003. A performance bond estimate in the amount of $9,988 was approved by the Board and subsequently signed by the Chairman. The applicant submitted the bond monies and all related materials to the town, and the town board accepted the performance bond on May 27, 2003. The sixth extension of planning board approval for this performance bond will expire on May 27, 2015. The applicant submitted a performance bond extension application on March 17, 2015 to the planning department, and the application was distributed to all departments concerned for review. The applicant indicated that construction has not yet begun. The engineering and highway departments have no objection to the performance bond extension request and have determined that the bond amount is sufficient to cover all remaining improvements. The traffic safety department has no comment. The planning department has no objection to the request. The planning department offers the following resolution for the board's consideration. Be it resolved that the planning board hereby approves a retroactive extension of the performance bond for the subdivision known as Woodlawn Plat, number 1031A, for a period of 2 years to expire on May 27, 2017.
Is there anybody present on behalf of the applicant on this matter? Please come up to the microphone, sir. Please give your name, your address, and your relationship to the applicant, unless you are the applicant.
My name is Christopher Thomason. My address is 5 Equine Lane in St. James, and I am the applicant.
Okay, have you heard the review and the recommendation of the planning department?
Yes, I
And you're in
have.
agreement with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Any questions from any member of the board on this matter? Seeing none, a motion, please.
In the matter of Woodlawn Plat, number 1031A, I move that we adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. The motion carries unanimously, and that resolution is adopted. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I have the affidavit of
Please
posting.
hand it in on your way out.
I'll take that, thank you. Thanks so much. Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda listed as number 13 is 1138A Nest Manor in Nesconset. The request is to waive the requirement for the installation of sidewalks within the subdivision known as Nest Manor number 1138A. The map of Nest Manor was granted conditional final approval by the Planning Board on May 7, 2008. The request is to waive all 150 linear feet of sidewalks on both Excalibur Lane and Midwood Avenue. The Engineering and Highway Departments have no objection to the waiver requests, and the Traffic Safety Department has no comment. The applicant has indicated that there are no sidewalks. The Planning Department has reviewed the request and determined that there are no sidewalks on Excalibur Lane, and the closest sidewalks on Midwood Avenue are approximately 2,280 feet or 0.4 miles south of the subject site. Excalibur is a dead-end residential access street that is not in close proximity to pedestrian destinations, so it is unlikely that sidewalks will be needed at this location in the foreseeable future. Excalibur Lane has not been identified as an area where sidewalks are needed. Therefore, the Planning Department has no objection to waiving the sidewalks on Excalibur Lane. Midwood Avenue has been identified as a location where sidewalks are needed. Midwood Avenue is a sub-collector street connecting Nichols Road to Gibbs Pond Road and is the location of Tacon Elementary School. However, most of the sidewalks on Midwood Avenue are located near the elementary school, approximately 0.4 miles south of the subject site, and there are no immediate plans for expansion of the sidewalks in this area. Further, there are few, if any, locations on Midwood Avenue where there will be future subdivisions, and recent subdivisions in this area have not been required to install sidewalks or contribute to the sidewalk fund. Given the foregoing and the limited frontage of the subdivision, the Planning Department does not object to the sidewalk waiver on Midwood Avenue. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the Board's consideration. Be it resolved that the Planning Board hereby approves the request of Salvatore Guerra to waive 150 linear feet of sidewalks on Excalibur Lane and Midwood Avenue within the subdivision known as Nest Manor, number 1138A.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my name is Vincent Tremarco. I represent the applicant. With respect to the monies posted in the performance bond, could we have a resolution that those monies allocable to the sidewalks be returned to the applicant?
Well, that's not on our agenda for tonight. That's something that would require another separate proceeding?
I'm a little confused. On a performance bond, money's normally not deposited. It's a bond estimate. You know, it's the amount that the sidewalks would cost.
The
I
only
might
thing
be
I have
missing
before
something.
us tonight is that we're being asked to waive sidewalks. There's nothing I see anywhere in the analysis about anything about releasing money or how much money was posted or anything like that.
So what do we do, make another application to?
Well, I'm confused. Is it that you wish the bond to be reduced, and is that what you're seeking? Or has the property owner actually deposited money
Yes,
to guarantee the sidewalks are done?
sure, yeah.
Do we have
Cash-
confirmation and record of that?
Okay.
How
It
much
was
are
a
we
cash
talking?
deposit.
Well, the cash deposit is a percentage of the total performance
Well,
bond, right?
I used the wrong words. All the money for the performance bond was in dollars. He didn't get a bond.
Oh,
So
you mean
now,
he
and
did a
all the work
passbook or
is done
something?
now. Even the curbs and everything else.
Would there have to be some type of an inspection before that could be done?
I would suggest that we adjourn this and then, if necessary, re-advertise it, combine it, and do it all at once.
How much money are we talking about?
I think about 14,000.
Well, since we don't have anything in the review on this at all, I think that the planning department's recommendation is appropriate, because I think that before anybody releases or passes any resolutions releasing money, I think that the planning department should confirm we have the money, confirm how much money we have, and give anybody the opportunity to inspect the work to make sure that everything is done that's supposed to be done before we release money. And since we don't have any information on it tonight, I think we then should adjourn it.
A question I have is the sidewalks are less than 1/4 of the performance bond. The other work is done as well?
Yes,
Everything's all done?
yeah.
Has the applicant requested that the bond be released? You know, like the work is
There's no
done and they want
bond,
to get
right?
off
It's
the
just
bond?
cash.
You know, I can't answer for sure whether he...
Okay. Because it
Yes,
would seem to
just
me
the
it
bond.
might almost be faster for the departments to sign off on everything, and if it's all done, the applicant gets their money back, and there's no need to
Go through the hearing.
to do it piecemeal.
Right. So you have your choice, Mr. Tremarco. We could just
I-
extend the performance bond now and leave it up to you and your client to address the issue with the department, or we could adjourn this and then have it addressed at the next hearing after the department confirms the things they have to confirm.
This I think is the faster way, is if the board's inclined to approve it tonight. Because if it's not approved tonight, the engineering department will not approve the release of the rest of the bond.
Okay.
So let's just go forward with the original plan.
Correct,
If it's
yeah.
approved, it'll be approved, and then Mr. Tramarko and his client can take whatever steps they need to take between now and the next time we meet to
Right.
try to get his money released.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Sir, please come up. Name and address, please.
My name is John Rubel, that's W-R-U-B-E-L. I live at 20 Excalibur Lane. This is on the property that the builder is building the new home. I'm not looking for the curbs, but I'm looking for the sidewalk. I brought some pictures to show, and I brought some extra pictures to show you where I have a problem. I don't have a problem with the builder. My problem will be is when somebody buys the house and then we're going to have a dispute about the boundary or the property lines of this new house. And that's a big concern. I mean, the builder has said, oh, we'll fix it when the survey comes. The survey came, they did it. They didn't talk to me at all to tell me where the property lines starts and where they end. So I figured the best way is, since we had a meeting tonight, I should bring in photographs to show you what my dispute is with this.
Before we get to that, let's find out a little bit more about the information and the dispute and see if it fits in with what we have before us tonight, which was advertised, to be on our calendar. You are the homeowner next door,
Yes, sir.
and you have an existing home. It's not a new home.
No, it's been a home since 1979.
Are there sidewalks in front of your house?
Yes.
There
No,
are
not
si-
sidewalks, but curb.
No, do you have sidewalks in front of your house?
No.
Okay. So the only issue we have before us tonight, which is legally before us, because that's how it was advertised in accordance with the appropriate rules, is whether or not we're going to waive the requirement of the builder building sidewalks on the property next door to you. We have nothing before us regarding any boundary dispute. That's probably not even in our jurisdiction at this point.
Yeah, but with sidewalks, you need to have a curb, sir. You need to have
Yes. but
concrete.
nobody's
I'm
saying-
talking about the concrete part.
I don't think anybody is saying they're going to not put in a curb. I think they're saying they don't want to put in a sidewalk.
They put in Belgian blocks, which is not a curb, sir. And I have pictures to show you, so if you...
Well, we're not addressing tonight whether or not there is or isn't a curb. The only issue we have before us is whether or not they're going to build a sidewalk. For a matter to come on before this board, there has to be notice and it has to be advertised as to what the hearing is going to deal with. And the hearing is limited to the issues that are in the notice by law. And
That's
so-
the point.
Right, so what we're dealing with tonight is whether or not there are going to be sidewalks on the house, which I guess is next door to you.
Yes.
That's the only issue we have.
But on the subdivision poster, there was no reason for that. Just there's going to be a meeting tonight, and it was only posted 2 days ago on the 4th.
And the meeting is to
But they didn't
deal with
state what the
sidewalk
meeting
issue.
was about, sir.
Well, I don't believe that you're telling me you think the notice was insufficient. I don't believe that's the case, because I think the planning department are the ones who give them
I
the
have a
signs.
picture of that. I mean, it's not in the best...
In terms of the wording of it, he says it was just posted on 2 days ago?
On the 4th, it was posted, because that's Monday. Sunday, they had an open house, it wasn't on there. Monday afternoon, late afternoon, around 3 o'clock, they posted the sign, and today's the 6th, so it's only been 2 days.
Do we have an affidavit of posting? No. Anybody have an affidavit of posting? Can you please submit it in?
I thought that's supposed to be a month before a hearing.
We're going to wait to see, they're supposed to hand in what's called an affidavit of posting to state in writing when it was posted, so he's going to hand that in now, and we're going to see what it says.
It's very good. I'd like to see it also.
First, it has to go over there.
That's fine.
For the record, the affidavit of posting has been handed to the planning department Personnel by Mr. Tramarko. When does it say it was posted?
The affidavit says 5 days, and it's dated today's date.
So 5 days before today would be May 1st.
Correct.
And this
Correct, sir.
gentleman is saying that that's not accurate.
I have a lot of witnesses that went to see the house, and there was no notice at all on it. I live right there.
Until Monday, you're saying?
Monday is...
Until Monday.
Because they had an open house on Sunday. So Sunday, they had an open house between 12 and 2, I believe. And even prior to that, there was no notices.
Mr. Tramarko, do you care to address the contention by the gentleman that he's saying that there was no posting there until Monday of this week, which was 2 days ago?
That is correct.
You know what? Why don't we just adjourn it? This way, this gentleman doesn't have a problem with posting. I can get into the stuff about the return of the monies, and he'll have ample notice.
That's probably a good idea. And what we could do is we could pick a date certain, so this gentleman will know when he has to come back.
Why should I come back? Today is,
You don't have to
know,
come back.
No, no. What I'd like to leave
Well,
is
sir,
pictures
sir,
of
excuse me,
what
sir.
my problem is.
You
with-
can leave the pictures if you want, but the hearing is going to be adjourned because there are issues that have to be addressed by the planning department staff. Also, we have to clear up this issue of the posting. You're saying that it was only posted for 2 days, and we have paperwork that says it was posted for 5 days. So we need to look into that, because if it wasn't properly posted, we can't do anything. Now, if
Good.
you want to leave any documentation
Yes, sir.
of the pictures or anything else,
Yes, sir.
please feel free to do that. We'll accept it, and we'll make it part of the official record, and then we will tell you and everybody else now when the hearing is going to be adjourned to, so that if you wish to, you can come back. If you want to hand up your pictures now, we'll be more than happy to take them.
My pictures are more than just the posting of the subdivision-related matters. My posting is the curb is made out of concrete.
You can hand in the pictures, and the
Right.
pictures will speak for themselves.
Very good, sir. That's perfect.
Just tell me for the record how many you're giving us.
Well, I have some that are in triplicates and some that are singular.
Just give us one of each.
One of each?
Yep.
Okay.
So we don't get confused here as to what we're getting.
Just bear with me for a second, sir.
No problem. Take your time.
It will also show you the curb and the structure of the curbs and the property lines. Because I don't want the new neighbor to be upset at me. Yes, sir. Thank you.
These are the ones you want to give us, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, just for the record,
Sorry, I didn't count it.
I'm going to count them right now.
Thank you, sir.
The witness has handed in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photographs, which appear to be printed off of a computer. These will become part of the official record of this matter. And to give us time to look into the issue regarding the posting, also to give the board members and the planning department staff an opportunity to look at your photographs, and to address the other issue regarding the release of the monies that were paid with respect to the work that was supposed to be done. We're going to have this matter adjourned. Mr. Tramarko and planning department, how much time do you think you need to look into and hopefully resolve these issues so that when we come back the next time, we can finalize this matter, one way or the other?
And do I get a contactee number?
You can call the planning department.
The planning department?
Yep, and you can speak to anybody there. You can speak to Alex at the end of this. He'll give you information to contact him. And we will tell you now, though, if we can, when the next hearing is going to be, so you'll know right now when you have to come back, if you want to come back.
Of course I'd like to come
Okay.
back if I'm...
So how much time do you guys think you need to look into what has to be looked into?
So the agenda for the next meeting has already been determined. The following meeting would be June 3rd.
June 3rd enough time, Mr. Tramarko? Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to adjourn this matter to the June 3rd, 2015 meeting. I'm going to ask the planning department staff to look into the issues that need to be looked into regarding the release of the monies that were deposited for the work that Mr. Tramarko is indicating is done, and hopefully all necessary steps will be taken before that meeting so that if it's appropriate to release the money, we can do it then. I'm also going to ask you to take a look at the gentleman's photographs, and I'm just going to ask the gentleman to come over to Alex in about 1 minute, and just get contact information. Should you wish to contact the planning department to look into this matter, to look through the file, whatever you wish to do within the bounds of what you're allowed to do, please contact them, and you can go down to their office and look at what you want to look at.
Thank you
Okay?
very much.
So,
Chairman,
yes, sir.
I don't quite understand what the gentleman is talking about. Is he saying the curb should be Belgian block? And
No.
they're
Well,
concrete?
you know what, you can discuss that with him afterwards, because again, I'm not even sure if that's within the purview of what we're supposed to be dealing with here tonight, so we're going to adjourn it, and if you want to have a discussion with him as to what his objections or feelings are, be my guest.
Okay.
So with that being said, a motion, please?
In the matter of West Matter number 1138A, motion to adjourn the meeting, the application to June 3rd, 2015, in order to have further consideration.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? So adjourned.
Sir, I'm happy to give you my card.
And you can contact the planning department for further
So that's our
information.
phone number's on there.
And I think Mr. Tramarko, who represents the applicant, would like to speak to you about some of your concerns. Maybe you can work them out with him. Thank you. Yep, have a good night.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda we'll discuss is listed as number 14, number 1160, waiver request for Sunny Road Land Division in St. James. The request is to waive the requirement of the installation of sidewalks within the subdivision known as Sunny Road Land Division number 1160. The map of Sunny Road Land Division was granted conditional final approval by the Planning Board on May 21st, 2014. The request is to waive 225 linear feet of sidewalks on Sunny Road. The Engineering and Highway Departments have no objection to the waiver requests, and the Traffic Safety Department has no comment. The applicant has indicated that there are no sidewalks in the area. The Planning Department has reviewed this request and determined that there are no sidewalks on Sunny Road. Sunny Road has not been identified as an area where sidewalks are needed. Sunny Road is a sub-collector street that is not in close proximity to pedestrian destinations, so it is unlikely that sidewalks will be needed at this location in the foreseeable future. Therefore, the Planning Department has no objection to this request. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the Board's consideration. Be it resolved that the Planning Board hereby approves the request of 5 Grandchildren Associates, LLC, to waive 225 linear feet of sidewalks on Sunny Road within the subdivision known as Sunny Road Land Division number 1160. Thank you.
Is that the affidavit of posting?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Michael Strauss, 907 Main Street, Port Jefferson. I'm the attorney for the applicant, and I'm completely in agreement with staff's comments.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this particular matter? Any questions from any members of the board on this particular matter? Seeing none, a motion, please.
In the matter of Sunny Road Land Division number 1160, motion to adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? None? That motion is carried unanimously, and that resolution is adopted. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda is listed as number 15, an extension of conditional final approval for Maria Homestead. The request is for a 6-month extension to retroactively extend the conditional final approval for the subdivision known as Maria Homestead number 1089. The map of Maria Homestead was granted conditional final approval by the Planning Board on October 15, 2014, which expired on April 15, 2015. The applicant has indicated that he is requesting the extension because they are awaiting the approval of Suffolk County Department of Health Services. The Planning Department has no objection to the applicant's request. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the Board's consideration. Be it resolved that the Planning Board hereby grants a retroactive 6-month extension of time to the conditional final approval for the subdivision known as Maria Homestead beginning April 15, 2015 through October 15, 2015.
Anybody present on behalf of the applicant on this matter?
Vincent Tramarko, 1038 West Jericho Turnpike, Smithtown, New York. As a matter of fact, I picked up the maps from the Health Department today, so we should be moving along.
So you're in agreement with the proposed resolution of the Planning Department?
Yes.
Anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this particular matter? Any questions from any member of the board on this particular matter? Seeing none, a motion, please.
Do we have
In the
the
ma-
affidavit of posting?
You have the affidavit of posting?
I left it in the office.
Oh.
I'll bring it in tomorrow.
Thank you, Alex. Well, I think we're going to have to,
Adjourn it
Adjourn
rather than
that.
adopt the resolution without
we
the
can't do it
affidavit.
without the affidavit of posting, I
I
don't
have
think.
extra copies here, if that would
Can you-
suffice. Sure.
Extra copies of what he gave you?
I have a blank.
In a blank
affidavit.
one.
Yeah.
Can you fill it out here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We'll recall this matter. Please have Mr. Tramarko do what he has to do. This way he will save him a trip back. We'll recall the matter again.
Okay.
As long
Thank
as
you,
it's a
Alex.
notary present.
Good catch.
No problem.
And we'll recall the matter. In the meantime, we'll go on to the next matter.
Sure, the next item on the agenda, number 16, is a zoning petition 2015-05, Bolo, Long Island Operating Court. This is to follow up on the recent public hearing relative to the above referenced application for Bolo, Long Island. The board requested that the planning department research whether notification to the town of Islip is required before the board makes a recommendation. Section 239 NN of General Municipal Law requires that for certain zoning and subdivision applications, a municipality must notify the adjacent municipality. Section 239 NN is silent with respect to rezoning petitions. Therefore, there is no requirement to notify the town of Islip for this petition. The board also requested that the planning department's recommendation be put in the form of a resolution. So the planning department offers the following resolution for the board's consideration. Be it resolved that the planning board recommends that the town board approve zone change petition number 2015-04, Bolo, Long Island Corp., for a change of zone from WSI to NB based on the following reasons and subject to the following conditions. Reasons. 1. It is consistent with the comprehensive plan. 2. The proposed zoning permits land uses that are more compatible with the Hauppauge Industrial Park. 3. The rezoning would tend not to set an undesirable precedent. Conditions. 1. Approval of this petition does not imply that the Board of Zoning Appeals should approve a special exception for a filling station, particularly the plans submitted with the petition. 2. Approval of this petition does not imply that the Board of Zoning Appeals should grant variances for the proposed density and layout depicted on the plan submitted with this petition. And 3. Approval of this petition does not imply that the Board of Site Plan Review should approve the proposed site design and architectural plan submitted with this petition.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Appearing on behalf of the applicant, Eugene L. Nicola, 200 Railroad Avenue, Sayville, New York. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the applicant agrees completely with the research and the, obviously, the proposed resolution. 239 NN relates only to special permits, subdivisions, site plans, and use variances, not to rezonings. That's all I would have to say, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this particular matter? Seeing none, are there any questions from any member of the board on this particular matter? Seeing none, a motion, please.
In the matter of Bolo, Long Island Operating Corp., item 2015-05, motion to adopt the resolution as recommended by the department.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. That resolution is carried unanimously. I'm sorry, that motion is carried unanimously, and that resolution is adopted. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening to you as well.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda, item 17 of final subdivision 1156, map of open meadow in Fort Salonga. This request is to subdivide a 2-acre parcel of land into 2 1-acre single-family residential lots that do not comply with the area, frontage, and setback requirements of the zoning ordinance. The map of open meadow 1156 was subject to public hearings on January 7, 2015 and February 4, 2015. The planning department explained that this subdivision could not be approved at that time inasmuch as the application is not in conformance with the zoning ordinance, and the planning department does not have the authority to grant all the necessary variances. Pursuant to New York State town law, boards of zoning appeals are authorized to approve area variances in pending subdivisions. However, and the planning department recommended that the application be adjourned to tonight's hearing in order to give the applicant the opportunity to apply to the Board of Zoning Appeals. The applicant applied to the Board of Zoning Appeals on April 20th, 2015, and a BZA hearing date has been scheduled for May 12th, 2015. If the BZA wishes to consider these requests, they will be required by state law to ask the Planning Board for a recommendation. However, as this case has not yet been heard by the Board of Zoning Appeals and no recommendation has been requested of the planning board, it would be premature for the planning board to issue a recommendation at this time. The planning department recommends that the board adjourn this application to permit the applicant to continue with a pending application to obtain relief from the BZA. However, it should be noted that this recommendation should not be construed as a recommendation that the BZA or the planning board approve this proposal. The planning department recommends that the application be adjourned to the first meeting in June, currently scheduled for June 3rd. The planning department offers the following resolution for the board's consideration. Be it resolved that the planning board hereby adjourns the subdivision known as Open Meadow 1156 to the first meeting in June.
Anybody present on behalf of the applicant on this matter?
Chairman, members of the board, my name is Vincent Tremarco. I represent the applicant. I'm going to submit the affidavit of posting, and I understand the application. The thing that I don't understand is why can't there be a recommendation now from the planning board? I mean, we all know what the variance application
Well,
is.
according to the memo that we have here, it seems to be a matter of procedure that the Board of Zoning Appeals has to request that we give them a recommendation before we do so. That's what appears to be how I read the memo. And since that hasn't happened yet, we can't give them what they haven't asked for. That's how I read it.
The wording in the town law says that the BZA must request a recommendation, so it seems as though they have to request it to trigger your recommendation.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just confirming that I
Just want to
read.
make sure I was right.
No, right,
Okay.
just confirming that I read the state law that pertains to this.
Okay.
And you're
So,
correct.
Mr. Tremarco, we're going to adjourn this to June 3rd so that the ZBA can request that we give them a recommendation, and then we'll be in a position to do so. Anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Any questions from any member of the board on this matter? A motion, please.
In the matter of Open Meadow number 1156, motion to adjourn to the proposed June 3rd meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? So adjourned.
And Mr. Chairman, we've received the affidavit of posting for the Maria Homestead.
Going to do second call?
We're going to do a recall on was that Sunny Road? Maria Homestead, I'm sorry.
Maria Homestead, that's right.
This is going to be a recall on Maria Homestead, the one where we didn't have yet the affidavit
Right.
of posting. The appearances are the same. I understand that we now have the affidavit of posting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, on Maria Homestead, I'll ask again, anybody in the audience wishes to be heard on this? No? I'll ask again, any questions from any member of the board on this? Seeing none, the resolution, I believe, was already read, so we just need a motion.
In the matter of Maria Homestead, number 1089, I move that we adopt the resolution as read according to the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? That motion carries unanimously, and that resolution is adopted. Thank you, sir.
We have to discuss the calendar?
Well,
You
we
rece-
have to adjourn the meeting before we, I think that's it for the calendar, correct? For tonight's calendar.
Yes, that's right.
Motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? So adjourned.